Oi.
All right, what's up? What's going on, everyone out in the world? It is your three favorite people, Hypergraphia.
Lady S.
I want to be Lady S.
King size.
Lady S!
All right, so that's us. We're your hosts slash announcers slash best friends for the next 20 minutes.
And that's it. Nothing more.
Nothing more. It's strictly a platonic vocal relationship. Just butter for your ears. Nothing
your
more.
Oh, found my penis.
Whoop, found my penis too. There they are. Everybody slap them on the table.
Corey.
You see me panicking?
Yes.
Oh boy. About time for some BME Pain Olympics. Let's get hard. Let's get hard and fast and hurt.
So let's actually get right into it.
Let's get away from that. Let's pull a quick 180.
All right.
So tonight, we're gonna answer mail for the first time, and then we're gonna basically answer one of the males, not the females.
On the Craigslist ad they applied to.
One of these mails came through, and I went through some letters. And so
The
tonight
pictures were fantastic.
we were gonna focus on like a topic idea that was suggested by one of our friends, Main Man Lobo, who follows all three of us on Twitch. So he asked, he was curious on what shows we would think should be brought back or made into its own movie. And I was trying to think of this, but I couldn't really come up with anything. So take the table.
One show that I really liked was Dexter. And I would love to see, like, I don't know if they're doing this or not, but I would like to see them come back, but, like, his son takes the place of his, like, dad's shoes.
Well, you know
because
what they say about psycho killers.
if you watch Dexter all the way to the end, they did it to where they left the ending open. They didn't really conclude anything, and it's just, he never gets caught, basically. But he's, like, alone, and it's just like, what happens now? So I would really like to see, like, a spin-off of that, just to see, like, if his son follows in his steps, or if he tries to find his dad, or something like that, because
Daddy, no.
that's the one that I would be interested in.
I never saw the end of Dexter.
I can't weigh in on Dexter because I've never seen any of it. Sorry.
I still really can't think of anything. It's like bugging the hell out of me. Like, I feel like I just watched more television, like, up till I was like probably like 22, 23. I haven't really much. Like, usually right after I moved and stuff, I just started watching a lot of movies most of the time. That was like the time that Netflix got big and stuff.
Gotcha.
And, yeah, well, and they just offered television shows, but I really can't think of anything that I watched as a kid that really, like, stood out or was, like, really phenomenal or anything.
I mean, specifically, he said 90s shows. In my mind, in the 90s, for me anyway, it was, like, all Dexter's Lab, Courage, and it was all cartoons.
That's true,
And
yeah.
late night Cinemax.
Yeah.
But
It's just funny.
that would make a good movie.
Like, I guess a good thing to think about, too, is just, like, I mean, even going past, like, what you'd like brought back, thinking of how much that cartoons and stuff have changed from the 90s. Because, like, that's a good point.
Yeah.
When you say that the stuff that you watched is pretty much the same stuff that I watched as a kid. Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, I watched the Powerpuff Girls.
Yes.
And then I think of, like, Nickelodeon stuff, and
Let
they
me tone
had,
down
like,
my manliness real quick.
Nickelodeon always had like all that and like Keenan and Kel,
Yeah.
and it's just so different these days. You know what I mean? It's changed so much.
Nickelodeon was the urban cartoon network.
It kind of was. I mean, like, it kind of was.
Right.
Like, they had didn't they have Double Dare and like Guts and
Yeah,
stuff?
they did
like,
have some awesome
They
shows.
did have some good shows.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. But like, that doesn't happen anymore. You don't like. That's
Right.
What's even funnier is that makes me think of what was that show where like it was like Guts or whatever, but it was like for adults, where just like you went up against like power lifter people that were like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
I can't.
Are you talking about Gladiators?
American Gladiator.
Gladiator.
That's what it was. Yeah. Do you?
Jesus, man, you're getting ready to rip your hair out.
Well, it's just like I hate when I can't think of something, and I'm
It
like,
happens to me all the time.
my God, dude, if anybody listening right now, if you are like younger and that doesn't apply to you, look up like YouTube clips of American Gladiator. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. It's like average people going up against like peak physicality people in trials of strength and stuff. And I mean, sometimes they win, but it's It just almost reminds me of like the Dodgeball movie with Ben Stiller, because their names are always like Blaze and
Right.
Laser.
You see, kids, in the 90s, we still had the options of going outside, so they had to compete with the unique and the special abilities of a bike. So they had to make entertaining program as such.
I remember when bikes were big too. When I was younger, I fucking sucked at them. Like
Bikes were big until I was about 6 foot, 6'2".
Yeah. The one and only time I ever jumped on a bike, because I had a bunch of friends that would like sit around and do like BMX tricks, and they'd build like ramps and stuff in their
Yeah.
backyard. And just one time I was like, I'll try it, because like I used to go around like film them and stuff and think that was cool or whatever. But they're like, you should actually try it one time. And like one time I did it, I went off of a huge dirt ramp and I clipped it. And if you know what that means, it's like you don't make the jump basically. And my fucking ribs went right into the handlebars and it just flipped me over, dude. And I just sat there bruised and just out of breath, and I was like, no, BMXing's not for me. Like this, I don't want to, because like, you know,
Scratch that off my list.
well, at that point, you know, like they had gotten used to being beat up by it, but no way, dude. Like I'm
As
not
an
a big
adult, it's not any easier. Let me tell you. I
That's
went
true.
around with a man lift 2 weeks ago, and I'm still bruised.
I was gonna say Corey actually does do heavily physical stuff like that still. So
I go to the bathroom now and then.
we could tell you the story of or he could tell you the story of the time
I don't know.
that tire exploded.
Oh,
The one that you still have like little shards of it in you. You
Yeah.
still have little pieces of it in your body.
It's a piece of me now, so I forget about it and neglect
piece
it.
of me. Me and
No,
my tire
yeah.
friend.
Yeah, speaking of physical injuries, because that's such a fun topic, is for those of you that don't know, I drive truck for a living because I barely graduated high school. No, honestly, I enjoy that. I really do. It's freedom, they say. Anyhow, I was airing up a tire for one of our trailers, and we do extremely large heavy haul, way beyond the scale of what you see your normal 18-wheeler going down the road. Anyhow, and one of the tires was just old and decrepit, and I didn't realize that it was so old and decrepit. And it exploded as I was airing it up and standing next to it, and it launched hundreds of thousands of little pieces of shrapnel into my right rib cage,
It was pretty.
from my hips to my armpit,
It was pretty brutal. I remember
my right arm.
seeing you afterwards.
Oh yeah, it was a bloody show, and not the birth kind. It was great. I just recently actually got about a BB-sized piece of rubber and steel out that was bugging me. It was great. It was
Jesus.
That happened so long ago too.
What
Been-
about you though?
been
Like,
going.
Have you ever got like really? I wouldn't say. I guess my BMX story is really badly injured, but have you ever taken like a really bad injury?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty safe.
Have you ever,
staying
Have
inside.
you ever broke a bone?
No.
No. Have you ever broke a bone?
Um,
Probably many.
not
Several.
diagnosed, but
Right. I
I'm-
never checked it out. It just kind of kept on going.
oh, I'm sure I've broken
Really?
my finger on this hand, which you can't see, my left hand, and then I'm sure I've broken ribs. Just oh yeah.
Oh man, that's got to be rough.
And just I remember being in that
Ugh.
pain, and dad telling me telling me as a kid that there's nothing you can do for a broken rib. So I'm just like, suck it up and keep going.
Man, dude.
Well, guys are like more rough and tumble than chicks
Rough
anyway.
and tumble. I like that.
Mhm.
I like your style.
You go add that
I like the
to
cut of
my,
your jib, sailor.
Well, I got it from you. So.
The only time, like, I actually, as a kid, I did play outside a lot, and, like, I did sprain, like, a lot of stuff. The only time I ever broke a bone, I was trying to do a flip, like, on a trampoline. I had, like, I got really good at doing front flips, and, like, I was trying to, like, land on my knees and then do a front flip and just land on my feet from that. And I'd, like miscalculated it just ever so slightly, but when I landed, I could just feel it. It just pop, tear, and I was just like, oh, like, I got off the fucking trampoline, and I went to my dad at the time, and I really hope my dad never listens to this podcast, because, like, at the time, he was like, he's like, you're fine, don't worry about it, walk it off, and it was, like, legitimately broken, and, like, 2 days later, like, I was back at my mom's house, and I was like, yeah, what do you think about this? And she's like, oh my god, you should be at the hospital, like, what the fuck is happening here? But
Trampoline, second place only to lawn.
and it was the only time I ever broken a bone, and it was crazy. Like it was crazy having a cast on, and like that whole part of your body atrophies and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's pretty gross when it comes out because you know
Yeah.
it hasn't been washed in forever. It's like
Oh, I've never thought about.
oh, it's
a
terrible.
cast removal.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh, they're horrible.
That's got to be a YouTube. Thing.
Oh God, no, it's
The
it's
YouTube.
awful.
So, I
Real-
don't think I what
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't think I've told either of you two this,
Uh
but
Yeah.
when I was like,
What's her name? I want pictures.
Oh, I've heard that.
I think when I was like
God damn it. Oh.
2 or 3, maybe even 4. It was a long time ago.
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah, right there.
I'm good.
I'm listening.
I'm listening too.
I'm listening more than he is.
Right? I'm listening intently.
I would just like to note that I am listening more than he is. Over here with this cast removal crustacean crap.
Yeah.
You got my full attention, babe.
So, so when I was a kid, I don't remember this because I was such a, I was so young, but I ended up, like, I was outside playing, and I think my parents might have been around somewhere because they had friends over, and I grabbed a rock, and it was a pretty big rock, and I don't know why I did this, but as a kid, I picked up this rock and I threw it up in the air, and it came down on me and hit me in the head, and then there was just like
Cause and
just
effect.
blood just running down my face and everything, and that would have to be my most like crazy injury thing because but I don't remember it.
That
so
is so funny. Because just hearing that story reminds me of a story I haven't like thought of in years, and like just how like you just like did this thing and it like caused that something like that to happen. That reminds me of like I think I was 8, maybe 9, and we were camping with my family, and we went to this campground we had never been to before, and they had this crazy steep hill driving in. It's here in Michigan. I forget what it's called. I could probably ask my parents, but they have this crazy steep hill, and it says no bikes, no rollerblades, no skateboards, because it's too steep. Well, the first fucking thing my dumbass does is, like, I got to the top of that with my bike, and I'm like, this is fine, whatever, it's not gonna fucking do anything, and started riding it. Well, obviously, you know, if you've ever ridden a bike and it's gotten out of control, eventually you don't even have control of the pedals anymore. They go faster than you so I just put my feet up, and I hit this embankment and literally flew into a stop sign, like face first into a stop sign.
oh my god.
And like it was the first time I'd ever been. I wasn't totally knocked
Excuse
out,
me.
but it was the first time I'd ever been just dazed, like just totally like pretty. I guess you could say knocked out, but I was still conscious, and I just like laid there like, what the fuck? And like it was so funny because I'll never forget like 8 campsites away, because this is at the beginning of the park. I could just hear my mom go, ah! and I just hear her like pedaling up on a bike, screaming. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I swear to God, though, like face first, cheek and everything, just wham, and it gave no way. Like it was like my inertia yielded it to its.
It yielded to the stop.
It did. I've done a lot of stupid shit on bicycles.
Yeah?
Honestly, that's actually why I have my right front tooth is chipped, because like when I was a kid I was riding bikes with my mom, and I was like, I'm gonna do it with my eyes closed. Ran right the fuck into a mailbox. Broke my fucking tooth. Like,
Oh, where were you when I was a kid? I needed a dumber friend.
right? I was kind of a dumb kid. I was like, but I hated Davison though. Like, I was so glad to get into Clio and Flint schools, because like everybody where I went to school initially was just, you had to be from money to have status, and I just never had money growing up. Like,
Right.
So like that's what's always put me off against people that are like, you know, money is status and everything.
Yeah.
Damn.
Again, people suck. It's not as bad as I thought.
Yep.
This video was kind of a waste.
I mean,
But look at that.
well, no. What I'm saying is, I can't believe we're circling around back to cast removal.
Ooh,
but
ooh, oh,
what
that
I-
was gonna rip out.
What I'm saying is, like, it's not as, I mean, obviously it looks bad, yes, but when you remove a cast, it's more the smell than anything.
Ooh, yum.
No, it's
I
not.
bet it's like-
It's not a yum.
Like Chinese
But actually, what I was thinking too, real quick before I forget, have you guys listening at home or in Discord? Have you guys ever broken a bone? Have you ever like seriously hurt yourself or anything? Let us know in the comments below, and maybe we'll read a couple stories of your guys' in the next podcast or something.
Maybe spawn a whole new subject.
Yeah, exactly. Or just again, if you got a cool story or something, send it to our email. Let us know, and we will also use your guys' stories and your guys' suggestions as a means of keeping the flow going.
Yeah.
What are we actually at for time on this podcast?
I don't know. 15 minutes.
That's not too bad.
No.
We've been doing pretty good. I gotta say. Yeah, but yeah, oh my god, I could tell you like so many injury stories. I could sit here and make like my big toe on my left foot, on my right foot.
It's seen some shit.
It's on my right foot. My big toe on my right foot has seen some shit. When I was a kid, my mom put me in karate classes, me and my little brother, and there was one time we were practicing high kicks, and like instead of putting my foot down flat, I had folded my toes, and it pushed the toenail up out of the cuticle. So it was basically just gushing blood like from. It was horrible, and it was so bad because like I liked, for my own comfort, I like to doing karate or whatever, taekwondo, in socks, and like I knew when I put my foot down, I like felt the nails separate, and I was like fuck, and I was like, it's gonna be fine, and I like threw another kick and put my foot down, and it's just a big red pool on my sock. I was like, it's gonna be fine, and I like threw another kick, and I put it down, and I was like, sensei, and he's like, oh boy, he literally like fucking like took me to the side. He's like, we gotta get some first aid on this right now. And I was just like blubbering like, he's like, am I gonna be okay? He's like, you're fine. I was just like, oh my god, so bad. Actually, that's funny because this kind of circles back there. This was a subject in a weird way I wanted to talk about, because the other day I was thinking a really interesting thought I had, and it seems like a cliche thing to say, but like I think I was driving and I was thinking this, but I was like, no matter what, if you yourself, you listener, or us talking to you guys, if you have a scar, it has a story attached to it. And like I know, like I said, it sounds kind of cheesy, but like scars do have stories. Like every time you get hurt and it changes your appearance, you have like a memory associated with that.
Sometimes it changes your life.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's just like, because I think what it is I actually have a cut right here on my hand, or like a scar right here. You see it? And that's from when I was like 6 years old. I was helping my mom take a trash bag out of the trash, and she had forgotten that she had broken a glass and thrown it away, and it was at the bottom of the trash, and it was stuck, and that's why she needed someone. So I was holding it for her, and as she like yanked it up, it just ripped me wide open. And but it was just an interesting thought that I had, where I was like, man, I was like, no matter if you have like a burn or a cut that healed up or anything really, any kind of like wound that eventually heals and leaves a mark or a scar, like has some kind of story behind it. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, anyone that's got scars, especially significant ones, has some sort of memory attached to it, whether it be the lesson of not to do that again, or how it happened, or who gave it to you, depending on kind of lifestyle you lived. But yeah, that would be something great to hear about. Personally, I have, I don't know, I'd say hundreds of scars.
I was gonna say, you do very physical things as like both your job and your hobbies, I'd say. So.
Well, you have that, and couple that with me not being extremely safe or smart. It's a recipe for. I don't need tattoos. I got scars.
Right. If I got tattoos, it would just be to connect the dots.
Right. That one's an
A
inch
to
long.
B to B to C, and this was someone that I don't like anymore.
Oh my god.
What?
That actually no, that's a story for another.
Well, that's I was gonna say, even I have those stories. That was everybody's satire. We've all done that too. I would say that in a lot of ways, a lot of people have probably like scarred themselves over love.
Just mentally.
I mean, that still counts. But we'll save that for the next podcast.
I wasn't sure how to follow that.
We'll save this depressing topic for next time.
All right.
Next time on Game Grumps. Actually, yeah, we should go watch that. But seriously, guys, yes, like we're returning. We actually recorded another 20-minute segment right before this one. Again, thank you, Lobo, for your email to our show. I'm gonna let Corey give you guys the email information again, and again, send us your messages. Let us know your stories, or if you would like some stuff read, comments on the YouTube video itself. Help us grow this by helping us network, please. Feel free to share it and let other people know about it. Retweets, all that kind of stuff is super appreciated. And Corey, take it away.
Oh, for sure. And real quick, I just wanted to say thanks again to Lobo. We used your email as a basis for jumping off of the 90s. We hardly touched on it. We might come back to it. I just don't be discouraged that.
Yeah,
we
no,
did
by
it.
no means. Like, I could not think of anything.
Well,
Yeah,
like,
I
I
mean-
couldn't even think of 90s. That's why I was like, what's that show that I really like? And I just
Yeah.
used that instead.
That's because we had a great 2000s.
We did.
But yeah, real quick, if you want to shoot us an email, chat with us, say hi, give us ideas, anything you want to say, just shoot us an email over to hlsz3show@yahoo.com. That's the letters HLSZ, the number 3, the word show @yahoo.com. If you want it sent to a specific person, just throw in Hyper in the excuse me, in the subject line, throw Lady S in the subject line, throw me in the subject line. If you just want to say hi, throw hi in the subject line. If it's to anybody, just throw the topic in there. Someone will get to you. We're trying real hard. It's still up and coming, but we're not forgetting about it. If it takes 12 hours, 24 hours for us to get back to you, we all work and have lives outside of this, but we will get back to you.
I would also like to give a really big shout out to Corey's friend Derek, who has been listening to all these as well.
Oh,
Super
yes.
cool. And anybody that Corey works with, again, we really do appreciate any and all supports. We're trying to reach as many different pockets of people as we can. So again, big shout out to anybody that may have come over from Twitch, Discord, anyone else's channels, or anyone else's recommendations that have led you here. We do very much appreciate you guys.
Real quick, this is going to be a bonus 3.5 minutes.
Bonus!
And
Bonus
just
round!
for Derek and Max. Max, happy belated birthday. I know you'll probably hear this today or tomorrow via Derek. So again, happy birthday, Derek. You wanted us to mention manscaping, so we'll mention manscaping.
That could be a subject for another.
Well, I think
We'll
the
mention
subject-
manscaping another time.
The subject of
But Derek-
manscaping. Let's do that in the next episode.
Yeah,
I'm
Derek will get to you. I
manscaping
just
and
didn't want you to
emotional
think.
scars.
And I do believe there is a bukkake segment that we got to get back around to.
Yeah,
We're
to
setting
discuss-
ourselves up for
We
later.
are.
We're setting ourselves up for later shows. This is great. Good
I
ideas.
just didn't want him to think it fell on idle ears. No, we try to listen to everybody. And any ideas, any thoughts, positive, negative comments, just give them to us. We can deal with it. We got the shoulders. And we just enjoy the feedback.
Manscaping.
What are you doing?
Make your privates look like a bonsai tree. Grab your little razor and come on with me. Manscaping. No! Alright, it's time for us to go, guys. Have a great night. We love you so much. Thanks for listening. Take it easy.
Have a good time.
Oh,
everybody.
this is
Thank you.
Hyper and
Your Lady S.
No, I'm king size.
this is Hyper and
king size.
And-
Lady S!
signing off. Have a good
See
night,
ya.
guys.